Whoa! 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 Whoa!
Looking real clean doing it.
Yeah, real clean. I imagine they will in this next matchup as well. I do want to correct myself on the previous ad read. It's just a basic access once you follow that link, but you're still able to get into Smite 2. So it's the basic access on Steam. Follow the link in chat and use code Smite2 Esports. But a look at our bracket. We've already filled out the semifinals. These are both also going to be best of one. So we got No More Trolling up against New Gen on one side and then Crockett. What did we say? The cockroaches, I guess, but there's some maybe debate over the exact translation over there on the other side of the semifinal. Both best of ones to meet here in the grand finals. And I believe we're going to be picking things up, Trelly, with this No More Trolling roster up against New Gen. Streak Up, Raffer, Theeks, who most Smite fans would know as BMT, who is now rebranded as Theeks and refer to him as such moving forward. April, and then Ducky over in the solo lane. I think this is a roster that even if they have not all teamed together in the past, they have not built up all of this esports exposure with one another in the past. They have simply played at the highest level for too long, and you got to favor them, I think, going in here into the semifinals and into picks and bans as well.
And that's the thing. I think it's kind of poetic, the fact that New Gen has named themselves as such, because they're going up a bunch of old heads, right? They're
That
like,
is
hey,
true.
we're trying to dethrone you. You think you're cool just because you're the new gen, or because you're, these old heads, but we're the new generation. We're coming in to dethrone you in Smite 2. Maybe a storyline that we can follow. No More Trolling, starting us off with the Loki ban, and immediately followed up Bacchus from New Gen.
Yeah, Charlie, if I've picked up on anything, it's that Bacchus is pretty good, and pairing Bacchus with On Her also pretty good. That's what I've learned here in the first couple matches of this kickoff tournament. Jingwei recently added. Is it worth the billing, though, Trelly, from what you've seen so far, or is maybe some of the wavering performances today not indicative of what this god is capable of in Smite 2?
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, the rank scene has shown us that Jingwei, Bacchus, Mordred, at the top echelon of these gods that you should be worrying about, just because Jingwei got a bit of change coming into Smite 2. She can now stockpile her charged up auto attack. So late game, if you're able to stack up a few of those, you just get essentially infinite crit chance, AoE auto attack. You can just pop everyone like gushers if you're able to get online. Issue is, do you get online, right? Do you get snowballed before you get to that point, it can be a little bit sketchy. So maybe that's what New Gen was hoping for. They dropped Ymir and Fenrir as a counter. Say, hey, you're going for this late game style. You have two hard carries. We're just going to get as much early pressure as possible. And Fenrir and Ymir can certainly bring that.
Well, Trelly, and I'm going to put you, or you're going to put me in your backpack early on here. I asked for it, and you're going to get it. The Jingwei on her, that would raise my eyebrows if I were watching a Smite 1 draft. Is it equally as interesting, though, here in Smite 2?
I mean, I think that double carry is always going to be a viable strategy. Again, if you're able to get to late game, you're going to have tremendous amounts of DPS. With the strength and intelligence splits, with the physical magical splits, there is still ways that you can get, you know, sort of built in the way of protections. But when you have something like the Hades, for example, if you have other ways to find that magical damage, not going to be the end of the world. I'm just looking at team fight presence, CC, and just damage in general. And with Athena, Shock in your front line, and then throw a Hades ult, throw a Pillar of Agony into the mix, you're going to have plenty of that CC. You're going to have plenty of that magical damage. You're not going to worry too much about the Jingwei and on her not getting online, as long as you don't get snowballed, which again, New Gen is drafting for that snowball. They want to win early and not let this get to 25, 30 plus minutes. That's what that tells me. I mean, you've got the Mori, you have Fenrir, you have a double Thanatos potentially. There's a lot that you can do with this composition to make sure these hunters, or these late game carries rather, don't get to that late game.
Yeah, but the one game we've seen from No More Trolling already has been a snowball, right? I mean, these guys just crush their opponents, and so New Gen fighting against that. However, a very talented roster in and of itself over there as well. They're going to lock in the Neath. They'll get their ADC fully fleshed out here. And so now, full look at the roster, you get Ymir, Fenrir, Morgan, Thanatos, as well as Neath. I like it in a it's fun to watch sense. We've seen some success out of Thanatos here today. What do you think the strength of this New Gen roster is, though? I know you talk about snowballing and wanting to get things going. Does it always funnel through the jungle? Is this Thanatos the one to keep your eyes on?
I mean, definitely a player to watch. You have to worry about just the fact that this is a single pick composition, right? Thanatos is usually going to be trying to get